Hey everybody, Caleb here. Today we've got this Collings acoustic guitar. It's got maple back and sides and it's kind of in this jumbo size. I'm not totally sure what the model number is, but it's got a couple of problems. This is part of the big lot that was really dry, and it's got a crack from the back of the bridge to the tail as well. The bridge is lifting, so here I'll show you kind of how bad the bridge is lifting. You can see how much I can get that paper underneath there. I'll show you in one more spot. Yeah, so that bridge is pretty bad, so it's going to have to probably come off. I can't imagine it's going to take too much to get it off. We'll start with heating up that bridge. Give it a little bit of time to soften any glue that's underneath it. What I like to do with this particular bridge heater, because it doesn't really have a lot of weight to it, is put a little something on top of it. So right here I've got my hammer that I took the edges off and put it on there. So it's had some time to heat up. Now I'm just going to kind of try and take this off of here. I may want to put down just a little piece of tape so I don't scratch the back here. Scratch the top behind the bridge. And then we'll get this off here. I can't imagine it's going to take too much. This thing is coming really close to coming off as it is. You can see this did not take a lot to get this thing off of here. And we're already almost there. And there we go. I can just pull it off by hand. It honestly looked really good. Like they had good coverage, but it just didn't seem to be stuck down very well. It's okay, we'll get it cleaned up and restick it. You can see there's two little white pins in the bottom of this bridge. Those are indexing pins, I think. I think that they're plastic, but I really don't know. But they help index it into the top. So I don't really have to worry about this thing sliding around while we're regluing it. But what I do want to do is get this totally clean before we reglue it. So we're not gluing to old glue or gluing to loose fibers. We're gluing wood to wood. That's what we want. We're doing a combination of sanding and scraping just to try and get everything off there that I can. All in all, either way is going to work pretty good. I'm going to give this a wipe down with some naphtha, take off any of the dust and loose particulate so we got a really clean surface to glue to. Now this has got a couple of cracks in it. They weren't really easy to see on camera, but I've gone ahead and taped up on each side of the cracks so that I can get some glue in the cracks and not make a huge mess over this guitar. I'm just going to start by kind of wetting them down, getting a little bit of water in them to help move the glue in a little easier. Kind of thin the glue down as it tries to make its way in. I found this kind of helps just to help wick the glue in. Now I'm just going to start putting a little bit of glue, a little bead across the crack. And then I can just kind of start. I'm dabbing it so that I'm kind of putting pressure on it, hopefully opening the crack and pushing it in some more. You can see I'm just kind of working it back and forth, trying to open the crack so that we get glue in there, and then I'll just take off whatever's left. Try to make sure it's good and clean. Now we've got some glue in that crack. I'll go ahead and put a clamp across the top so that we're putting some sideways pressure on there. What we're really going to need is a combination of sideways pressure and top-down pressure to help try and close those cracks. But I'll start with a couple of clamps to just pull. You're really not going to get a whole lot of movement from these, but it's going to help a little bit. especially once you start putting some downward pressure on it. And I'll just slide a little box in there. That weighs a little bit, but this next thing, the nuts and bolts box, that's the real heavy one. We'll just set that right on top. That'll help kind of put that downward pressure on the top and the sideways pressure to help close those cracks. Once those have had some time to dry, we're ready to try and put a cleat in there. I've got a cleat here, and I've got a little magnet here as well, and I'm going to try to get that cleat about that deep in there. Try to get it past that last brace where there's not a lot to help hold those cracks shut. So I got to get my hand in there pretty deep. While I'm doing this, right after I get this cleat in, I may as well go ahead and glue the bridge. But we'll focus on getting the cleat done first. So I've got a pretty strong rare earth magnet that I'm setting, kind of taping it down so it doesn't move. And I will put a washer on the back of the cleat to help, you know, magnetically clamp it in. So I'll spread some glue, and then I'll just should just have to set that in there, and it should clamp up pretty good. That is, of course, a very high quality spruce wood with grain running opposite from what it is in the top. That'll help avoid splitting the cleat in the future along the same lines that the cracks are. And now we can focus on getting that bridge glued back in there. Now I see that the indexing pins still work good, so we can get some clamps ready, and then shouldn't be long before we're putting glue down if I get my clamps in spot. The top will give me my bridge. We'll just spread some glue and clamp her down. Thankfully, those indexing pins work really good to help find its spot. And I know that even clamping it down, it's not going to slide around. I'll start my cleanup phase here while I can reach the whole thing, and I know I'm going to have to do more as we go anyway, but that's alright. I'll clean what we can. I found these little set of tweezers help me out quite a bit as I'm trying to clean up around the finer corners. So just grabbing them and cleaning the corners makes things a little easier. You can already see the glue starting to squeeze out. Making more job for me to clean up. But it's a good sign. It means we're making good contact. Just finish cleaning that up. We should be able to just let it sit and dry. Now that we got that all glued up, a few hours of dry time, we can start taking this tape off and looking at our cracks. And on camera, they are really hard to see. I think they turned out pretty good overall. They're not what I would say is perfect, but, you know, cracks like this rarely turn out invisible. But on camera, they look really good. And then we can focus on the fretboard. Now, like I said, this guitar was in a group of guitars that were exceptionally dry. Fortunately, they didn't have really bad fret sprout, but the frets were pretty bad as well, just on polish. So I'm just gonna do a quick fret polish here, running through my micro polishing pads. And when I'm done with that, I'm just gonna oil this board another time. I oiled it as soon as I took the strings off of it, and I'll oil it again. It was very dry. Every single one of these guitars was very, very dry. If you're interested in this Collings guitar, it is still for sale. You can find it on butlermusic.com. After we get this guitar all polished up and oiled, we'll be ready for a set of strings, and then we can play it. So I hope you enjoyed watching this crack repair on this Collings guitar. If you want to help out the channel, you can like the video or subscribe to the channel and share the video with other people who might be interested. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.